All right. What's up, everybody? Doing a special, what I'm calling a mastermind workshop. Workshop in the fact that we are going to help you guys uh, upgrade some skills, know how to win in this market where there are realtor opportunities. And we also believe that there's going to be some refi opportunities. I had a walk and talk with Jeremy. Well, I just spent some time with Jeremy this weekend. Sounds like he's already getting some refis. So we're going to talk about how is he winning right now some refis, and then how is he prepared to win if and when rates come down, or when rates come down. So Jeremy, let's just like when I hear the problems in the market today, while interest rates are an issue, more times than not with home buyers, I hear that indecision is can be a bigger problem. Like, should I buy now? Should I wait? What are your thoughts in terms of what are the biggest challenges loan officers have in the market today?
Yeah, I think that the actual biggest issue that we as loan officers have in the market today, it ducktails on the statement that you made of like indecision. But is it really indecision on the part of the buyer, or is it really that our realtors and us as mortgage professionals, so call it the real estate partners, don't know how to effectively lead the client to a yes or a no? And I did a training on this, Dave, last Friday with a very large producing, agent and his team. And they were shocked by some of the things that I shared with them. And these are simple things, by the way. So what I see is that yes, indecision, maybe, but really it's just how can we get the people that want to write offers on homes, especially first-time home buyers, clarity on what type of homes they should be making an offer on and what the payments are around those type of homes only. So I'll give you guys a great example. In this training that I did, and this was off the cuff with them, I didn't know that this would come out of it when I went to this meeting. But they said that one of the biggest pains, right, was that, oh gosh, I've showed this one person 40 homes, right, was the comment of one of the agents. And I said, oh, really? Let's dig into that. Because that will happen sometimes. But they said it seems like everyone, right now wants to look at every single house that comes out. So I shared with them this really simple form that I created that is just like called the home buying checklist. And in the home buying checklist, it's for a realtor. And what I have them do is with their client, I want you to write down like all the things that are important to you about a house that you're looking to purchase. And I want you to rate them all, right? So just 10 things max. And I want you to rate the 10, right? Like how important they are to you. So they do that with the client. And what they get really is just 10 items that are important to them about the house. And one of those could be a monthly payment, for example. One of them could be is that, hey, we're looking for no less than 3 bedrooms. It's little simple stuff like that that the client writes down, 10 things that they're looking for in a house. And then whenever a client says they want to see a house, this is what I'm training the agents on is, hey, I want to make sure that we're only looking at homes that meet at least 7 out of the 10 items that you wrote down that are really important to you. So if a house comes up and they're like, I want to look at it, and it's a 1 bedroom house and they want to look at 3 bedroom houses, it gives the agent the opportunity to reach back out and say, hey, I noticed this doesn't fit into our grid, right, of houses we want to look at. Has anything changed? So what this does is that number one, it creates clarity in communication. It gets the borrowers more focused on what they're looking on. And then I trained the agents in this meeting to let their buyers know that, listen, I'm only going to show you houses that meet 7 out of 10 of these. And we're going to look at 3 at a time. I'm going to pick the 3 best. And that way, we can figure out which one of those 3 do we want to maybe make an offer on. So this is saving the agents a ton of time. It's getting a lot of clarity and it's creating better conversation. Side note on this too, takeaway from this with these agents was that, hey, this also like helps us like from a standpoint of compensation. Okay. Like a compensation stand, they're showing their value. This is why you hire me. I'm only going to show you homes that actually fit what your needs are. And what they did is they had me make a video for them, which I'm happy to share, Dave, that explains like this strategy. And they requested from me a couple of mortgage coach total cost analysis. okay, that shows different price points with different buyers that I don't know these buyers yet, but that shows the price points. And then that way they can insert that into their conversation of, cool, so payment's really important after we've identified exactly what you're looking for. Here's like a, a quick link that will just run you through. This is what you can estimate your payments to be. Is this in alignment? So I'm using total cost analysis with the agents in order to do that. But really, indecision is just a lack of clarity. That's always what indecision is. Indecision is always just a lack of clarity. So we have to create more clarity for the buyers and for our realtors.
Cool. So we're going to talk a lot about how you're creating clarity. And then what about rate shopping? I've heard that rate shopping is, it's bigger than ever. It is a challenge. How much are you seeing it? And then again, you coach a lot of loan officers. You have a lot of loan officers in your region. How big of an issue is that?
So rate shopping, I am actually really doing well right now within the rate shopping world. We're always going to have people that have questions. So first we have to define what's the difference between a question about interest rates and then us just thinking, oh my God, they're rate shopping me versus like legit rate shopping. So for me, there's no difference in percentage. I would say that, I get shopped hard, I'll call it, probably in about 20 to 25%, right, of the businesses, the business that comes in, the contracts that I get, et cetera. That's really not out of alignment on any type of time frame for me. Now, with that said, the loan officers that work for me say it's every deal. That's just their go-to. Hey, I'm getting shopped on every single deal, right? I am getting shopped on every single deal. Well, what's the difference? The difference is I'm providing a total cost analysis upfront with a video with a range of rates because I don't know what the rates are going to be when these people go into contract and buy a house. So education upfront narrows the gap of the amount of rate shopping when a contract actually comes in.
So I want everybody that's in this, remember, this is this workshop mastermind. What percentage of time are you getting rate shopped hard? Put that in. Jeremy said that for him it's 25%. He said a lot of loan officers he worked with say that he said it all the time, but
Every deal. We know that
every deal.
whenever anyone says every deal, we know that that's a little insecurity, right? And that's a little fear. So, but way higher. I don't know what the actual number is for
Well,
them because
well,
it's,
but what? Give me a guy, guys. It's not going to be a mastermind workshop if Jeremy is the only one that shares how often he gets rate shopped. So come on, let's go, everyone. Someone has got to put in a number. Uh, what percentage of time are you getting rate shopped hard? All right, there we go, Mike. I got Mike Brooks with inline. We got Tom with 10%. Give me one more, and then we'll keep moving on this. So so rate shopping is an issue, indecision is an issue. At the end of the day, my takeaway right now is a client's lack of clarity and
yes.
confidence is the biggest issue. So let's focus on clarity and confidence, and let's focus on the realtor experience. And then let's do real quick on how to win with realtors and how to win with refis. And I mean, I'm going to get a couple scripts out of you around it. Also, guys, we are going to talk and focus heavily on Mortgage Coach. It would be really helpful to know what percentage of you have Mortgage Coach and use Mortgage Coach. So, take this little survey. You don't have it yet, so you're not a mortgage coach. You notice I use the word yet. You use it daily, you use it weekly, and you use it sometimes, And I don't know who's answering what. I just know that I need all of you to answer this. Um, if it's going to be a workshop mastermind. And right now we're at 53% of you have done this. 69%. So come on, guys. So we got a couple non-mortgage coaches, and then we got a lot of daily users. So we got a lot of ballers there. So we'll make sure we give you guys some shortcuts and some just scripts and hacks. But it looks like we do have the majority of the folks are already mortgage coaches. So good to know on that. So Jeremy, let's talk about they are mortgage coaches. So let's do a lesson on how to create clarity and confidence as a mortgage coach. Like give us some on purchases, and then we'll do
Yep.
refis.
Yeah. So on purchase transactions, there's like in contract purchases, right? And then they're pre-approved or they're making an offer. And those are two totally different. scenarios. So for me, creating clarity up front, the easiest way that I create clarity and execute really quickly is that when someone gets pre-approved, when I'm creating a presentation for them, I'm going to show them a variety of interest rate spreads. So I'll give you an example. I might show 6.95% on a 30-year fixed rate mortgage, 6.45%, and 5.99%, all with no points. And everyone might be going, "Oh, but what are you going to do if it's no, 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 no. I know. It's this is the education part, okay, of interest rates only, not focused on fees. So, for example, in my video, I will literally walk them through and say, "Hey, Dave, it's Jeremy Forcier. What I've created in this presentation is an overview for you on a $850,000 purchase with $153,000 total out of pocket. And I want to walk you through how interest rate movement, because they do move every single day, whether it moves up or whether it moves down, you can anticipate and budget for that, whether it moves in either direction, although I hope it continues to move down for you." And then I walk them through the presentation. I find that that alone cuts so much rate questions, right, up front. And Dave, a huge mistake that I see, like lots of LOs that I coach, as well as lots of LOs that work for me, is that they don't send a video TCA, total cost analysis, at pre-approval. Like they literally don't send one. They just go, "Hey, you're pre-approved, et cetera, da, 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 da." And then when it goes into contract, yeah, they're getting shocked way more because it's the first time they've seen anything. They have no clarity on like, this is how the market works. They didn't know that interest rates went up or down. Some first-time home buyers, I get this question all the time, Dave, is, "Oh, cool. So I'm approved. So is 6.99 my rate?" Like they're not even in contract. They haven't even looked at a house, right? So education up front on this is how interest rates move. This is how it affects your monthly payment. Great news is you're good no matter what, whether it goes up or whether it goes down. So that is definitely the best script as well as best practice that I do up front. And it just lowers the tension on the other side. It lowers the tension. They ask way better questions and it makes it easier to build some of that trust and education from an expert standpoint.
So let's one get ready to show a mortgage coach so that people can see the customer experience. But before you show that total cost analysis, let's just do a typical, you know, basic everyday, what you would use Mortgage Coach with a pre-approval. Before you show that on the screen, I want you to just do your script. Like, how would you position this TCA? I know since the AI feature got rolled out a month ago, you've made some edits to your scripting. So
Yep.
let's kind of role play it. I'm
Yeah.
a I'm a buyer. I don't know if it's different, whether it's a first time buyer or a move up buyer. And remember, audience, if you have questions, comments, put them in chat. We'll get to them. But give me your, however long it takes script and then show the TCA and show me how you walk through and give buyers clarity and confidence.
Absolutely. So, and just to clarify, this is a script over the phone. Do you want my script over the phone, or is this the script in the video that I do?
Over the phone. So when I get the link, I got the
Awesome.
memo, you know.
Cool. So, real simple is that if Dave, if you were the borrower, I would say, "Hey, Dave, so here's what's going to happen is I'm going to create a presentation for you that's going to walk you through some different numbers. So, if you're focused, Dave, for example, on this is the purchase price point, what I'm going to show you is different interest rates within there so that you can budget appropriately because interest rates move on a daily basis. So, I don't want to show you just what it is today. I want to show you, well, what if it goes up and what if it goes down? How does that impact you?" Okay. Also, it's going to break down every single cost. So the cost you're going to see when it says cash out of pocket or cash to close, that's always going to include everything: title, escrow, appraisal, all the closing costs on this particular loan, because I never want you to be surprised. Like when you actually find the house you want, I'd rather you know everything up front. And if you have questions, we've built in this really cool AI feature that you can literally ask it anything. You're going to see a little box that says, "Ask me anything," and you can click on it and you can type in your question about anything within the presentation as well. And 9 out of 10 times, it's actually going to give you the right answer. Now, if you have more questions after that, of course, I'd love to hop on a Zoom, phone call, whatever is easiest to you. Just let me know. But I'm going to send you this link over. It's going to have everything you need to digest the information, and feel free to come back and ask me great questions.
Awesome. All right. Well, let's show the mortgage coach. If you can share a link in here, just so everyone on the call can kind of go through the experience. And I want everybody to think about this is the ultimate customer experience. Like if you're giving a customer a PDF, or you're giving them here's your rate, here's your payment, here's your cash to close, you're not creating clarity and confidence because it doesn't have options. Rates do change, loan amounts change, the purchase price can change. And if you don't have a dynamic, easy way to share that and then add video to it, you're literally showing up to a gunfight with a knife. Like it's old school. What Jeremy's going to show
Yeah.
you is the modern mortgage experience.
Yeah, 100%. So let me just pull one up here so I can give you guys the best example possible. So I had a bunch pulled up, and ironically, I don't have one of those exactly, but I'm going to show you anyway what I got here. So I'm going to share my screen, Dave. Let's go to Zoom
I'll tell
here.
you when I see it.
Got it. Boom.
Put any questions you have, and Chris, there's all kinds of scripts. I'll make sure that well, one, we just got one script from Jeremy. If you have another one, let us know. We'll try to get to it. But all right.
Awesome. So let's just, why Zoom? Get out of here. There we go. All right, so I'm just going to use this one as an example, you guys. This is slightly different than what we just went over, but it's really important because it's all the same at the end of the day. Education, education, education is what we're talking about. So
And
I just
options,
moved.
options, options.
Yep. And so I just made this one yesterday, right, for someone who wanted to make a $700,000 purchase. They're not in contract yet, but they're looking at a specific property. And he was asking me like, "Hey, do you think this is affordable?" Right? And I was like, "Well, that's very subjective to you. Objectively, you're very qualified for this. Subjectively, you have to figure it out." So I said, "What I'm going to do is create this presentation that you see right here, and it's going to show you a couple different strategies, right? So that you can figure out how it fits into your budget." So what I showed them here was like in the first column and you see there's a video here explaining this to everyone. I'm going to go ahead and move that away. This is a $700,000 purchase price, right? With a 605 loan amount at 6.45% interest rate. Your payments would be 47.49 and 2 cents, including taxes and insurance, everything. And your total cash to close, which is down payment and all your closing costs, title, escrow, appraisal, impound account, everything you could imagine is going to be about 116,000 out of pocket. Now, in the second column, this is a $700,000 purchase, but if you're able to negotiate a 3% seller credit, meaning that the seller is going to give you $21,000, I wanted to show you how that would impact your cash to close if keeping cash in your pocket is more important. So the payment doesn't stays the same in this option, but you're only coming in literally with your down payment of $95,488. So this is a strategy to save cash out of pocket. Now, talk with your agent. I can coordinate with them as well, just to see if that is an opportunity because every property is different, every seller's different, and competition is different. Now, in the third column, I wanted to show you a different way that you could use that 3% credit if you're able to negotiate it. And this is called a 2-1 buy down. So what this means is that you're using a big portion of that credit from the seller to buy down your interest rate for the first 2 years with their money. So in this column, I'm showing you that if you were able to get that 3% credit from the seller, and we utilize it for this strategy, your interest rate effectively that you would be paying in year one would be 4.45%. The payments would be 39.92 and 38 cents. Total cash out of pocket 109.320 and 60 cents. And then in the fourth column, I just showed you, well, what happens in the second year? Well, in the second year, it just goes to 5.45% for that full second year. There, your payments would be 43, 43, and 41 cents. And then if you just didn't refinance for whatever reason permanently in that second year, the worst case scenario is it just goes back to the original payment it was always supposed to be for the rest of the life of your loan at 47, 49, and 2 cents.
Cool. Cool. So stop sharing, Jeremy. I wanna just, you'll notice that he had some highlighters everyone click on the link I just put in here. I called it the Rate Shopper Mortgage Coach. So click on that real quick. And I want to show you some things. I want to make sure you guys understand the customer experience and the loan officer experience. So the loan officer can highlight this. So if you've already clicked on this, as I am highlighting the different programs, it's changing for you. Like you're able to follow along. If I want to go into more information and I want to go to closing costs and I want to click on fee details and really get into the nuances of things, I could do that. And so again, modern mortgage experience. You'll notice that it has a feature. I could add a video, so this could have been uh well, it had a video, but Jeremy could quickly and easily add a video. It'll allow you to do it from your mobile app. So if I click that, it's going to pull up the mobile app, or it could do it from the web browser. And then I want to remind you guys, it's got this AI feature. So the consumer can interact with it. They could ask questions like, what's the lowest cash to close option? By the way, did I just say auction? It figured out that it was option. Uh, if I'm going to live in the home for 5 years, what's the best option? So the consumer can get whatever question they want answered. And if they ask a question like, are these interest rates competitive in the market? Which by the way, people do shop, people do research, people do wonder that happens all the time. It's going to take them back to loan officer. Great question. I recommend reaching out to, because I'm the loan officer here, reach out to that loan officer and then remind you guys. Well, I don't know if it's reminding you because I don't know if we told you yet. Jeremy knows this, but he's getting a heads up. He's getting a summary that consumer, what they asked. He's getting a transcript so he knows exactly what they asked and he can be strategic. So highly recommend, guys, you're getting strategic with prompts and
Yep.
and that you're giving people, if it's a refi, you're going to give them one type of prompt. If it's a purchase, you're going to give another type of prompt. So make sure you check that out. Uh,
Love that.
so Jeremy, let's really quick do a refi experience. Remember, if you have questions or comments, um, you know, show an example of how you are going to do, rate and term refis at scale when the market comes. I've asked you this 100 times, so I have examples of content, but I want to, in this mastermind workshop, I want to give people ideas on that.
Okay, cool. So for refinances in general, what I always look at personally is number one, what are the largest loan amounts that I have from a filtering standpoint? I always start with that first, not because it benefits me more, by the way, but because those are easier transactions to do as rates haven't come down a ton yet. So because it just is, there's a bigger monthly savings. It's an easier sell from a cost standpoint as well. So that's really, really important when you're filtering out like what are the real refi opportunities. Yes, it is interest rate that you close them on in your pipeline. But number two is that, okay, it's interest rate plus who are the bigger loan amounts that I should go after first because they're easier to do. So really simply for me, what my script is, and I have like 7 of these in the pipeline right now. Closed 3 in the last week, and I have 4 other going, and I have more conversations every week with people looking to do this. And the script is really simple. It's like, hey, I've identified that we could save you some money at little to no cost to you whatsoever. Okay, to little to no cost to you whatsoever. If you're interested in saving money at little to no cost, I'd love to put a presentation together for you to show you what that looks like. No one says no to that. Okay. No one's like, no, I wouldn't like a presentation, right? Like no one does that. So I did the work first, though, of course, to identify the ones that look are like the most likely to be able to refinance right now. But I remind them always in this script too that remember, like I'm always monitoring interest rates for you because one promise I gave you is that I would manage your mortgage, right? Like over time. So I'm managing their mortgage, I'm reminding them of that, and then I'm asking them if they would be interested in saving money at little to no cost. And then when I do talk to the client, if they say like, yes, I'm interested, I would love to, see what that looks like. What is little to no cost? That is a question that I do get a lot. And then that gives me once again an opportunity to answer because I set them up to ask me that question, right? And so this is how I define little to no cost. If whatever the cost really is of the refinance, if we break even in 12 months or less, then it makes sense to do it from a cost standpoint because you will be refinancing again in a year from now. So if you can save money right now for a year and it doesn't cost you, anything, that is amazing. And I would say we should move forward. If it doesn't, we should talk about it more. So those are really easy scripts and conversational pieces to tee up the total cost analysis that you're going to send them and go over.
Right on. So I've had a couple questions in. One person said, "Hey, how do I get the prompts?" Send me an email at dave@trustengine.com. I had another question. Hey, we have 4 to 5 new team members that have never used Mortgage Coach. Um, do you recommend starting with a training on site first? So, so guys, we have all kinds of training videos. And I don't know if you're an enterprise partner or not. If you are an enterprise partner and have us built into your tech stack, which by the way, I'm going to demo real quick what our Encompass integration looks like. But whether you have the Encompass integration or not, Mortgage Coach is super easy workflow. I mean, Jeremy has personally, he's $100 million producer. How do you think you're going to do this year? Are you going to get over 100 this year?
Oh yeah.
100 and what?
Oh, I don't really pay that close of attention. 120, 108. I don't know. We'll see how the last quarter does.
Yeah,
So yeah, yeah, yeah. But no, I'm definitely tracking.
yeah, tracking 100 million. And do you still do a lot of your TCAs yourself, or how
I
much?
do I do 100% of them.
You still do 100% of
I
them.
still do 100% of my own TCAs.
Oh my gosh. By the way, most $100 million producers have, they involve their team in creating the total cost analysis. Do you do it with the Encompass integration?
I do. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, and by the way, if you are watching this, we have both a small teams edition of Mortgage Coach now. If you guys want to find out about that, reach out to me, just email me and I'll set you up with a demo. But I mean, it really is easy. You click on new presentation, you know, you'll have the import button. If you have an enterprise partnership, you'll have Encompass, go to the folder where you have Mortgage Coach, type in 3 digits or 3 letters, pull up that person, and voila, you have created a Mortgage Coach report. It's pulled over the cost. You now have, the ultimate mortgage experience. Because we have a lot of mortgage coaches on here, I want to give you guys just some tips. I'm assuming Jeremy knows about this, but did you know, and tell me if you're doing this, Jeremy, you could have created that TCA and then you could go to a strategy template. And I use this Daniel Saw Rate Sharper all the time. Something that could have taken you 10 minutes to do it. You just applied a strategy template. Do you do that, Jeremy?
No, I need to starting today.
Okay. You could have a cost of waiting. You could have just you name it. My FHA versus conventional, my down payment options TCA, like whatever. Like we're always like, how do we save you time? And then by the way, if you are an individual user or you're with a company that doesn't have an integration, you can just go to strategy templates and you could just pull up, that same Daniel Saw TCA and just go copy to a new client and boom, I just created a total cost analysis. Another really cool thing, Jeremy is in the alpha on this, but guys, we have let me make sure I'm sharing sound. We have an app coming out next week where you will be able to create the Mortgage Coach total cost analysis within our new app, and it will have data signals. Check this
All
out.
right. Importing a contact. And we're going to do some different purchase prices here to show someone who might be shopping and wanted to put 20% down. I'll throw in some closing costs. We'll go do an estimate of our monthly costs here. And then we're going to go add a second purchase price option. I'll redo the down payment. Everything copied over. And look at that. Done. We just did a TCA in 44 seconds for my buddy John here who wanted to go look
So
at
guys,
a
that
couple
will
different
be out
purchase price
next
options.
week. And also next week, for everybody that has what's called Mortgage Coach Next Gen, all of this will be in what we call the Mortgage Coach Next Gen app. Hang on, let me make sure I have it plugged in.
That is sick, Dave.
Had you not seen that before?
No.
Yeah.
Mine freaking exploded.
Why am I not? Oh, I see what happened. I did not have my, so that guys, I have an iPhone. This works on Androids as well. But if we have your data and you're an enterprise partner, like we want to help you at the bottom of the funnel convert confused, indecision borrowers and declare confident, whether it's a purchase or a refi. And then we want to help you get to the consumer sooner. So on that app, you can create presentation. And Jeremy, you're in the alpha. You should have this little button. I think you just didn't know that you could do that.
I had no idea.
So you could actually do that right now. And then again, if we have your data, we can tell you like what coaching opportunities, remove MI. Did someone just ran a credit report? Uh, home renovation. Usually about 1% of your data, there is a reason to deliver coaching. So especially with refis coming, you click on one of these, and again, there's a button to email, button to text, button to call. Everything we know about that consumer, the mortgage coach, you can create the TCA by the end of the year. We will be using AI to actually create the total cost analysis for you. So Jeremy, you'll have an AI assistant, and then there's scripts, what to say if you text, what to say if you email, what to say if you call. And if I just click on like this text button, boom, like here's a text message so that you can just go from consumer has a need to consumer gets a call. Jeremy, I know you got to jump pretty quick, but any closing thoughts you have before I let you get going?
No, no, not at all, man. I'm good. I think closing thought is I would love to share one more example on how we help realtors because that was like how do we help realtors win and prepare for the refi market. So I'm going to share my screen and show you guys an email and then what is in the email so you can see how I'm really adding a ton of value in my conversations and into like the realtor conversation as well. So I'm going to go ahead and just show you this. Here's a window. We just want to show the whole screen and share. All right, Dave, you good on seeing it?
I see it, bro.
All right, so this was a email, right, that was sent, and if you can read it, you can see it here. It's like the to a Remax, team that I presented to. I recorded a quick video explaining the rate changes and translates into increased purchase power. I'm going to click on the video so you can see what that looks like. But look, I also gave them a social media graphic, an email template, a script for a reel on how to do everything. This is so easy to do with AI these days, you guys. Like literally I typed it all in that this is what I want to create a real scenario for me, etc. And it just created it. Now, when they click on the actual video link, this is what's really important and how I'm using Mortgage Coach in my communications is that this is what the video link looked like to them. It's a video of me, right, which I'm going to pause walking them through here's what happened. This was the highest average rate in 2025. This is what the payment was on an $800,000 loan with $80,000 cash out of pocket. In the second column, here's the lowest rate at the time when I made this in 2025, 6.670. So right there, I'm showing them like, hey, your buyers need to know that they just saved up to $328 or more per month, right, on just interest rates moving down. So they could buy the $800,000 house now that maybe they were holding off on, and the payment's $328 less. Or in the third column, what I'm showing them here is that here's what it did to purchase price power though. If they were maxed out at $800,000 purchase price, now they're at $850 with basically a lower payment than what they were at 800,000 with the higher interest rate. So this is a really simple example on how you can use Mortgage Coach as well, and using these total cost analysis to help your realtors disseminate the information for you.
Love that, brother. And I also want to make sure I deliver on the ultimate refi TCA before you guys run out of time. And by the way, if anybody wants to sign up for Mortgage Coach, email me at dave@trustengine. I'll make sure you get a sign up link. And I am coaching a number of new loan officers to optimize their success, do it as fast as possible. If you email me, you'll get on that list. Also, there's a text number. It's a mobile club. It's 949-799-0837. And that is just every week I am sending out messages to help you optimize your success. So check that out. So click now for Refi Mortgage Coach. So click on this right now, guys. And then we'll go into a little bit of a wrap up here. All right. So this is actually from Jeremy in the past, where he shows, hey, here's a current loan, here's a refi option, and you have the choice of either saving the $321 a month in this case, or prepaying the mortgage and saving yourself $200,000 and paying off your house faster. And then, Jeremy, I don't know how often you show this future refi. I do know often when rates are coming down, people are always like, well, I want to wait for the next refi. So I think, do you like, and by the way, guys, you can unclick it so that literally now I'm just showing three options. And either from the mobile device, so like, let's just say, oh, we want to wait. You can go, wait a minute, and then you could add that analysis. Could you just kind of speak to
Yeah.
how you do that and how you are gonna, do rate and term refis when the market starts to come down?
Yeah, sure. So here, I'm just going to show you one that I closed. Okay. Like literally recently. So let's just take a look at it together. So as you can see here, you guys, this is like an example of almost exactly what Dave just described, right? So in the first column here is their current loan, right? This is your current loan. Notice it is a big loan amount once again, because I went and attacked big loan amounts first. Easier to show the savings. I'm going to give you the example here. So their current loan right now is their current loan balance. They have 7.375 on their purchase last year. The payment is $13,948. Okay. What I showed them is refi now at no cost, right? So no lender fees, et cetera, no appraisal. At 6.55%, their payment would be $12,668.16. So they're going to save $1,280.34 per month at literally they break even in month 2 for just from a new title policy standpoint. Okay. So that's a really easy sell. Now I went ahead and let me get this video out of here. So, and then in the third column, I still said this is why this makes sense now to do this at no cost is that as rates continue to go down, and let's just project that they're going to be right around 5% plus or minus. So let's call it 4.99%. We'll redo this again. And because you'd spent almost no money on this whatsoever at 6.55, you can anticipate a payment of around 10,691 and 27 cents in the future. So net net in the future, you'll save 32.57, but right now you can save 12.80 for free.
Got it. So at the end of the day, future cast,
Yep.
show them what they can save now. There's going to be times where you want to show, hey, look at the value of prepaying that mortgage. There's times where you just think that the right thing to show them is the future refi. And there's going to be times to show them, you know what, hey, if you took that $320 and you just invested it, you added it to that investment account that you told me about that you're making 8% on or whatever they're making. Look at that. So it's all about tailor, teach, clarity, confidence.
Yep.
All right, let's see if there's any more questions. All right, any closing thoughts, Jeremy?
Dude, just get out there and get after it. If you don't have Mortgage Coach, like you need to get it right now. If you do have it, you need to use it more. Don't think of it as a rate quoting tool. Think of it as a clarity tool to influence clients as to what your value is. If you can make that mind frame shift and reframe that to yourself, you're going to be more confident and you're going to be able to deliver something that's very unique.
Beautiful. And Rick just asked a question. Do you take it back to 30-year or shorten to their current?
Yep. So for me, once again, I want them to ask me questions. Okay. So sometimes I do that. Every scenario is slightly different. You could do that every single time if you wanted to. Like I'll give you an example. I just did one earlier this week, for someone that wants to look at going pay down their mortgage and go to a 15-year fixed. So I got to show them what some great options would be, right, to pay off their mortgage faster. I do let people know when they ask me the question, hey, do I have to start my loan over? My answer is always no, absolutely not. I'd be happy to show you, a 20-year payoff, a 25-year payoff. And even if you'd like to see like a 28.2-year payoff, I can show you the exact numbers with the exact time frame, because Mortgage Coach allows you to customize it like that.
Yeah. And then here is MC 10X. I actually created this page for managers. I gave you the actual link down below, but if you go trustengine.com/10x, I always have like a training site. It's got some of the most recent interviews that I've done. It's got links to videos for training, and it has links to sign up for live trainings. And then, of course, if you are an enterprise client, we're built into your tech stack. You have an account manager. If you don't know who that is, just email me, Dave at TrustEngine. Hope you got value from today's call. Jeremy Forcier, you are the man, brother.
See you later.
Appreciate you. And look forward this to your management team. Look forward to some demos, and look forward to some of you guys signing up who already are not on the team. Take
All
care.
right, man. Talk to you guys later.
Take care, everybody.